Good evening, everybody. Welcome to HearthCenter. It is the final HearthCenter of the season, and that is because we have crowned our champion. For anybody who wasn't paying attention last week, and that is Tap Last. They're joining us tonight. First of all, I am Donde. Glad to be here for our final episode. And BrushyTuna is co-hosting tonight, his first experience with HearthCenter. Brushy, how you doing?
Doing fantastic, but also known as Ron Mexico.
Yes, your alter ego / rival, Ron Mexico, Ron Mexi Corporation.
Listen, I'm not very good at writing. Leave me alone.
That's okay. That's not what we brought you on here for. It was not the writing capabilities. Was the hosting capabilities. And we are going to be good hosts this evening to three of the members of Tap Last joining us this evening. We have C-Mac, Typhoon, and Twos. Guys, how's it going?
Dude, it's going good. Today's shout out Lawful Dog. It's his birthday.
Oh, hey. Yeah, happy birthday, Lawful Dog. You couldn't make it tonight, but I guess that makes a lot of sense, you know. Probably doing something fun, I hope. And not, getting sick or anything, but having fun.
Yes, having a safe amount of fun.
Yes, exactly.
Always important.
Well, as we had mentioned, you three, of course, alongside the last champion, Lawful Dog, who are not here tonight, are our Pro Series champions this season. It was a very, very tough season, and it was well deserved. And I think the most impressive part is not only how consistent your team was throughout the entirety of the season, but you kicked it in the high gear in the finals there and stomped out the Unknown, who had a fantastic season of their own. Brushy contributing a major 0 points in the finals. Good job, bud.
I didn't even get to play. Come on.
That's okay. I didn't get to play in the finals either, if it makes you feel better.
Well, that's because one of us made it and one of us didn't, though.
Hey, I made it last season. What are you talking about? But let's talk about what happened. Obviously, the matches did not all need to be played. Typhoon and Brushy did not play. Last champion Desharmo did not get to play, and technically Lawful Dog and Catman did not get to really play either because there was a DQ there. So let's talk about I guess the two matches that did happen. Yours went first. We'll talk about yours first. You swept Solo Jazz 3-0, of course. Looking at your lineup there, you didn't bring Demon Hunter. Actually, nobody in Tap Last brought Demon Hunter. So, was it just like a collective decision, or did anybody lead that charge, or were you just not feeling it?
Oh, I just don't have the cards. I haven't recrafted them yet.
Okay.
I feel like it wasn't a group decision. I feel like
what a reason.
Everyone sort of independently decided not to bring it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of a discussion about it, not like anything too formal, but basically we were looking at lineups, and then we figured that after the nerfs, Demon Hunter just got worse. It got like a lot worse in the matchups that it wasn't good against, and it wasn't like what it used to be anymore after the nerfs, especially to the weapon and metamorphoses. It's just like it just like got like just slightly worse enough to where we felt it wasn't good to bring anymore.
I think that's completely reasonable. I mean, I still see it on ladder, from time to time, and it still seems like the deck is potent enough. But yeah, the top end there with the, you don't want to 6 in a whole turn just to play Warglaze. Like, it feels like it's only exceptional if you're playing with Mana Saber now, which is a card that obviously you have to work into the deck separately that you would not have done before. So I mean, yeah, that just speaks to the power level of the card being cut pretty dramatically. So interesting that you all decided to go that route, and the Unknown did not go that route. At least not everybody. Only Desharmo did not bring it, but everybody else did over there. And Twos, so you took down Solo Jazz. He didn't bring Warrior. Was that kind of a shock to you?
Yeah, I was expecting the Warrior because I felt like Questlock was really good this last week. So I think almost everyone to bring Bomb Warrior, but he didn't. I was happy they didn't bring Warrior, actually, because I got to ban the Hunter, which I was kind of worried about.
I was going to say, you probably would have banned the Warrior if it was there, I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the series obviously went your way, with the sweep there, where, we didn't have that one on stream or anything. Was there any games that were particularly close, any matchups within it that had you concerned?
Game 2 was pretty close, but then game 1, it was game 1 was my Rogue and his Demon Hunter, and I got I think all shoot lackeys, so there wasn't that much to do there. And then game 2 was my Hunter versus Questlock. I was really worried about his Questlock because he posted some other Discord. So he showed me the screenshot. He had an 80% win rate on Questlock,
Yeah.
But I was sweating that a little bit, but I think that the Hunter's like decently favored into it, and I got a pretty good curve. And then we had the quest lock mirror the last game, and I had a plot twist into plot twist. So that's how that series went.
Yeah, that is a good. I guess that's a good synopsis of the meta in general right now. Because those are pretty much all the classes that you're seeing on ladder at the moment too. So a big start to the week there is you got the win 3-0. Of course, that gives you guys 4 points to start with. And then we got to see C-Mac play Ron Mexico on stream, and that was a very, very interesting series. I got to cast that, and C-Mac, I know I talked to you quite a bit about that after the conclusion of the series, but looking back on it, anything else that that really jumped out to you about the way that series went? Any of the matchups that you liked or that you were nervous about at all?
So I guess the important thing, right, was I needed my warrior to connect with the demon hunter, and as long as that happened, I felt I didn't need to be nervous about anything.
Yeah, I think I guess the play it over and over again strategy means you will connect with the demon hunter eventually. And I actually said that at one point during the cast there, that I felt like you were still in a good position even though the warrior was struggling a little bit, because you were eventually going to run into that matchup, and then your rogue was fine against it as well. So I think that was kind of more of an inevitability than anything else. Brushy, before we move on to any of the matches that did not happen, did you have questions for Twos or C-Mac about their matches there?
Yeah, specifically for C-Mac, how did it feel when you had that triple Kargath Prime Reborn against Ron's Mage, because Reno kept giving you good stuff instead of Ron? Like, you feel good at that point? You're like, oh yeah, this game's locked up? Or
yeah, I did feel good, but it obviously didn't work out because that board gave the transfer student the right plague.
Yeah. Just he was holding on to Plague of Death for so long, and then all of a sudden you just had all these Kargath Primes Reborns, and he was like, oh, I guess it's time to finally use this card. But that was I think you had Ron down to like 9 health on turn 6 as Control Warrior, and that was just absolutely nutty. I was like, is Ron about to lose to Control Warrior because he got aggroed down?
Control the face.
Control the face. We don't control the board, we control the face.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Really do.
So Typhoon, you did not get a chance to play in the finals. Obviously, you're I'm sure happy that your team won. Was it a little bit disappointing to not be able to end up having a match that mattered for the end result?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think I was looking forward to playing because I always like playing on stream, and I think if the thing didn't happen with Catman earlier. Okay, well, I mean, Lawful could have won, and then it wouldn't have mattered. But let's suppose that Catman won. I think my match would have been played at any time because Champs was scheduled around the same time. So yeah, I mean,
2 hours after.
What's that?
I think it was like 2 hours after ours was
okay.
Champ and Ducharmo.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get to play my match. On the other hand, I really can't be too disappointed because my team won the week and the championship.
Right, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, we could have lost it and I didn't get to play my match, but I didn't get to play my match because we won it. So it's like, all right, this works out. Like, we're
right, exactly.
all good in the end.
Yeah, we'll take that. I will say, I guess the biggest crime is that we didn't get to see the Druid, Priest, Shaman, Warlock lineup to potentially decide the series, because that would have been a story and a half. I mean, either the lineup wins, and then you say, man, Last Champ is a genius, or the lineup loses and you say, man, what was he doing when he made that lineup? So either way, it would have been the talk of the show here. But yeah, we didn't even get to see it in action.
Man,
it was genius.
We were so excited for that match, though, actually, because theoretically on paper, Ducharmo never loses that series because all of his matchups were green across the board against Last Champ by significant numbers. It was like, oh man, if we get here, we might be able to get it. But Last Champ is a super good player in general, so he could have stole the series anyways.
For sure.
But it felt good that Game 5, at least on paper for the Unknown, was all right. Theoretically on paper, we get Game 5. But
Yeah, and Champ is a very creative deck builder too.
yeah, he
Like
is.
he's definitely one to challenge the meta, like especially in one that's been as stale as this. Like it's kind of been a breath of fresh air to see some of his decks.
Yeah, I mean,
You think he just like gets bored and he's like, let's just throw all these cards in and see if they work, and that's that's what he does for his deck building ideas.
Well,
Pretty
Champ
much.
made Egg Warrior.
Oh, that
He
was
and
Champ.
Nohans were the first people to play that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
so we kind of have this whole thing, we can blame him for it, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole meta is Champ's fault. Man.
The funny thing is, he didn't even bring Egg Warrior this game.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's like what? It's like Frankenstein or something.
That
So
is
the
funny.
deck I made is now meta. Well, now I can't play it anymore.
Yeah, once it becomes too cool to play, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, you got to move on to something else because it's too mainstream.
Yeah. He made it too mainstream. He's like, that's not what we do here. Let's go back to the secondary decks.
Well, any other final thoughts? No pun intended on the finals from anybody else that before we move on to our Rivalry Winner segment.
I got some individual questions for the players. If you want to hit those,
I didn't know if you wanted to save that for the full season review, but
that's up to you. I mean, we're just talking to them.
yeah, let's go for it.
Let's just wing it. All right. So I had a really good one for last champ, but he's not here, so it makes me kind of upset. But
Anyway,
all right. So my question for last champ was like, if you don't win pro season next season, will you change your name since you'll no longer be the last champ?
Well, his name actually is Champ, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I finished past it, I can confirm.
His legal first name is Champion.
Is it really?
yeah, no, it's actually not a joke. Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
have seen his license. It is
Well, that makes sense why you guys won then. You just had the champ on your team.
exactly.
And then for twos and Lawful Dog, did you guys have like a mini rivalry throughout the season for like who's going to get the 2 seed since you guys were like so close in record for most of the season?
I don't think maybe Lawful was trying to catch up to me, but I don't know. I don't really look in the rearview mirror that much.
You don't look at it. You're like, yeah, I got second. Get out of here, Lawful. I guess it's mine. Yeah, it definitely sounds like there's a mini rivalry in there. You probably just weren't aware of it.
Well, I
It's
know.
kind of weird this season. Like, I've been the 1 seed for a while, but I think I've actually played like every seed this season.
Just like one up the ladder. Like,
Yeah,
Wait,
I
did you
lost
start
the
off with that?
week 1 and then worked my way up.
Oh yeah.
it's like gotta get back up there. Like, I can't be down here. I got to beat Ron Mexico twice.
I mean, it's funny though, because like even if you are the the 5 seed, 4 seed, like the quality of players that are in pro at all seeds is it's so high. Like I mean, look at Desharmo sitting over there in the 4 seed, for example. He's not a player that anyone would really want to face in any seed in any series. So, BrushyTuna in the 5, that makes total sense.
I knew it's coming.
Awesome fact. I'm just kidding. Hey man, I'm down there with you this season, so
Yeah,
it's all
right?
good.
It's all good.
Hey, I'm down there with you guys too.
But that's what I'm saying.
Let's
There's,
make a group.
there's no shame in that. I mean, being the 5 seed
No.
on a team as powerful as Tap Blast was or the unknown was, like that's not a slight to the player that's in the 5. That's just saying, well, look at how great the rest of my teammates are doing, and then I'm still going to go out and play all of these very capable players regardless of where I'm located. So I mean, it's definitely not a mark of shame or anything like that. As you note, you both had 5-win seasons too, so you were both right around 500 records even at that 5 seed. So I think that's still pretty fantastic, quality-wise as far as the consistency is going for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's usually a testament to how well the team is going. Because if you're sitting around 500 and you're the 5 seed, then the rest of your team must be doing really well.
Unless you're all 500.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Just 5 and 5 like across the board. Like, how do we do this?
that was the Aeon method for most of the season. Is we were all like 4-4 at one point, and then like I think at most we were a game apart from each other for most of the season. So it was pretty random how we were seeded, but that's that you can see how well that worked out for us anyway.
Yeah. All right.
So, speaking of Aeon, Typhoon jumps ship from Aeon and wins the championship, so I can't say I'm not a little bit salty about it.
You wouldn't bring it up if you weren't salty about it. So,
I said I can't say I'm not. I was just admitting it,
you know.
to be honest with you. No, you guys deserved it. You guys did fantastic all season. Over 200 points as a team, too, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a team hit that many points at all. Ever. I don't know how many seasons we've had that have had this many weeks to work with, but 200 points is impressive, and probably a record that will stand for a while, I would imagine.
I mean, to be fair, we did have a long week, and then we did have a lot of weeks, and we had one season in Specialist.
Yeah, that was like the longest season ever, mentally.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh man, Specialist, rip.
I think we also had Shielded Conquest right after that.
Ooh,
Which was
Shield
cool.
was worse.
man.
Shield was worse than Specialist.
I love Shielded Conquest.
I thought Shielded
was
Conquest was great.
that was my format. I beat everyone but Fuel in that format. Can we go back?
I think Specialist is the 2020 of formats. Like,
Just awful.
absolutely,
it was
just kept getting worse. Oh man, speaking of getting worse, the show right now. So,
All right, let me. I got two more. Let's run through them.
I already switched the screen.
No!
over. I thought you were done.
No, I only asked 3 of the players. Come on,
okay,
Donde.
sorry. I don't know how in
Oh my. I had one for each player. Well, Twos and Lawful was like a combined one.
All right.
So for Typhoon, you came up with a huge win, a 3-0 win over Jimmy Eats Shoes in week 9, as like the playoffs are coming down. You know, how did that feel to not only sweep a super tough opponent, but also put your team in almost like the best position possible for those like last 2 playoff pushes?
Hold up, I need to scroll back to week 9. It was a while ago. No, it was good. I mean, obviously, just take every game as they come. Oh, that was the week where I did anti-warrior. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know too much about Jimmy before the match, but I added him, and he was like ranked 40 legend or something. So I'm just like, oh, this guy's probably pretty good. But I didn't really let that bother me. Like, I've been up there before, like played plenty of competitive Hearthstone at this point. I think the queue order just worked out for me. My decks were pretty much built to beat the ones that he brought. So, you know, it just a lot of things went right for me.
Nice. Yeah, you just predicted what he was going to bring, and it worked out. You didn't get like somehow counter queued.
Yeah, I guess I had a soft read on what he would bring, and
Yeah, I feel like
ended up being correct.
I feel like that when you have kind of a read on somebody, especially in an open list format, it feels like going all in sometimes is riskier than in a closed list format. But man, if you're correct, it pays off so much because they're locked into that strategy. And I don't know. I think that like guessing correctly is one of the best feelings when I'm prepping.
Right. Yeah.
It definitely feels like you almost won the week when decks are revealed, and you're like, oh, sweet.
But then you realize you're playing Hearthstone and nothing's decided because...
That's true. It's Hearthstone.
At this level, it's probably about 50-50. It's like we can... I don't think the skill difference in pro is so big where like you can win like a 20-80 against anyone. Like I just don't think that happens. But
no, yeah.
Like if you have if you generally have an edge over your opponent's decks, and you're like relatively the same skill level, it's like 50% of your week right there.
Very true. Yeah, I don't see too many throws going on when I've watched matches or casted matches from pro. And again, I think that's just a testament to the quality of the players from top to bottom. Is that every week you're going to get a competitive match and you got to be on your toes every single game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then let's wrap out these questions with C-Mac. C-Mac, how does it feel to not only lead your team to a championship by being their captain, but also securing up that 1 seed and, you know, giving your team almost like the best chance each week, like you going out there beating the number 1 seed of the team you're facing that week?
Yeah, it feels great. Winning is good.
Winning is optimal.
Winning is optimal. BMing your opponent is the best.
I mean, just looking at CMAC at the top there, just knowing that your team has what is almost a guaranteed 4 points every week is such a huge advantage. And I can say, like, it feels like years ago when we won the Hero Championship and I was captaining and also the 1 seed, it really did feel like, like I'm leading the charge out here, and everyone can rely on that 4 points, which is such a great feeling. So, congrats to you for really putting in a complete season together from top to bottom.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, speaking of teams that sort of use this strategy, I feel like the Unknown also did this, right? Where like Ron would win every week, and their team always had those 4 points, and they also made the finals.
Well,
true, but you should see
only
the Discord.
One person could win in the last week there.
Yeah, that's true. You should see the Discord. I never believed in Ron going in any week.
Wow.
Is that
Just
kind
had
of
to
like how I
roast
never
him.
believed in you on my
Maybe
predictions?
your roasting actually encouraged them.
I think so. I think he takes the hate from my roast, and he's like, and like instead of taking it out on me, he's been taking it out on his opponents in pro. Well, he's like, you know what, stupid tuna, I'm gonna lethal this guy because I'm so mad.
The funny thing about Ron is that, like, when he's on a show or talking on his stream or anything like that, he's so even keeled. But then, like, you actually talk to him in private, he gets really heated about stuff, but he never lets that come out, like, publicly.
Yeah, you should see him after he gets like RNG'd. Oh man,
he is hilarious when he's salty.
Oh yeah. There's at least 94 curse words, 1 non-curse word for the next like 30 seconds. And you don't know what's happening. Pretty great.
Oh man! Shout out to Ron and his company, Ron Mexi.
Yeah. Oh no, where did I throw
Where'd
it?
the sign go?
I threw it. Ron Mexi Company.
Ron Mexi Company. Well, I can think of no better transition to talk about our rivalry winner than this. So, this is something that we have discussed, as HearthCenter hosts, what we thought was the best one. And for those who missed this segment, it was 2 weeks ago. We asked everyone to send in their story about who their rival is in THL, and then we decided on what the best one was. And the best one is going to earn an appearance on HearthCenter next season at a time of their choosing. So we do want to give a special shout out to Markshire, who was the most comprehensive. He literally wrote an entire page plus in Word, which is so fantastic. I'm not going to read his whole story again because I did read it 2 weeks ago. But suffice to say, he is on HearthCenter frequently, so we can't really give him the win because, that's just kind of a cop-out.
It's like giving yourself the win.
Yeah,
like the main host of
it's
the
like,
main host of
I guess
HearthCenter.
I'll be here next week. That's fine. But funny enough, the winner actually ended up being BrushyTuna, who's here tonight anyway. To refresh the memories of those, his rival is in fact Ron Mexico. And he said, F that guy. My rivalry with Ron is due to him thinking he's good at Hearthstone when he's really not. So I always want to be better than him and beat him when I can. Who doesn't? I mean, I literally named my pro all-star team Ruckfon Mexico. That's how much he's my rival. We roast each other nonstop. We never say anything nice to each other. You know the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, Ron has been on my team for multiple seasons now. I've kept that man as close as possible to keep an eye on him. Yes, that is amazing, and also was my favorite as well. So, Brushy, anything else you'd like to say to Ron, about Ron, or for Ron while you have the floor here?
Yeah, I think Ron used my own rivalry story against me of like keep your enemies closer because now he made me a mod in his Twitch.
Oh boy.
So I can't tell if that was a bad decision for him yet by giving me that much power or if it's some weird power move that Ron's doing on me, but we're yet to figure it out.
That's funny.
But no, Ron's great. It's good to like, have someone like if you do consider him a rival or whatever that's like actually like, I'm not gonna say good at Hearthstone because then Ron's just gonna clip this and play it nonstop. Who's decent at the game, so you can go out there and be like, well, I gotta beat this guy, and at least like this guy I know is gonna go out there and put up good amount of points or good ladder results, or they're gonna do good in whatever series they're in. So it feels nice, and it also feels nice to have that banter too.
Yeah, it's good to have someone who pushes you, from a competitive standpoint, even if they're a teammate. It's still nice to have that extra little bit of drive that makes you want to do even better than they are.
Especially, I think this really started was Pro Season 1 when Ron and I were the 1 and 2 seeds with the same record for like the entire season, and like that's when our banter like really took off because he'd be like, "Oh, I'm coming to take that 1 seed too." Now I'm like, "No, I'm not giving this up. You can stay down there in the lower depths of the other tiers, the other seeds." So I think that's really where it started. Was that little rivalry right there? Was, you know, 2 people on the same team ended up having the top 2 records in pro that year. I think Fuel also had the same. So top 3 records over only 2 teams, and so you know it felt good to log into your Discord every day and just see some smack talking. You're like, well, I can't let that guy beat me, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep winning to keep that guy down there.
Well, congratulations to not only you, of course, for winning, but Ron for somehow inspiring you to win the rivalry challenge. So that's we'll have you back at some point during the next season. So you just call your
small
shot.
clap for Ron.
Small clap for Ron. Baby clap.
Baby clap.
All right. So last but not least, we want to go ahead and review the Tap last season from their entire pro campaign here. Now I'm pulling up the graphic that we had last week. This has their entire schedule. That does not include the championship that we, of course, have already talked about pretty in depth. So, just kind of going through the weeks here. You obviously only lost 2 weeks the entire season. Serenity at the top. So let's just start there. What happened in week 1? I'll start with you, C-Mac. What happened in week 1?
Oh yeah, we lost.
That was a while ago at this point. I'm sure it's easy to forget, but that was the first week of the regular season.
I won that week, for the record.
we will note that on the record.
On the record.
Oh yeah,
we won.
I remember I lost against GC Turf because my priest just could not get a win against his lineup. It was just like really. It's weird because priest was supposed to be a control deck, but he had like aggro that was fast enough before. There's like it was too fast, so that priest didn't have it just couldn't remove any of their stuff. He had Totem Shaman and some other stuff. I don't remember at this point.
Well, actually, I have the page up. I can tell you exactly what his decks were. Because he did bring Shaman, and it was the Totem Shaman, which was that even really like a deck at that point, or was it kind of still in the experimental phase? I mean, this is 3 months ago. So
yeah, at that point, I had already run into him in an open cup, and he was playing the same Shaman list.
All right, so it must have had some sort of basis in at least at that point in time. But he ran 3 Highlander decks outside of that: Priest, Rogue, and Hunter. Obviously,
okay, I remember
Rogue
now. Yeah,
kind of exist, but Priest Priest has a Highlander deck that was not unseen, but really not as common as the Gala Priest was. Of course, Q Priest didn't come into play until much later in the season.
Right. Honestly, I don't remember too much from that. I just remember the Shaman. I was just like, wow, what a strange thing to bring. But I already seen my opponent bring it before, so I wasn't too surprised.
And as C-Mac mentioned before, he did fall that week. That popped him down to 5th place, 5th seed, as he had talked about. Last champion 2's got wins in the 4 and the 5, but yeah, that was. I think one of the more shocking upsets, I think as a team, you guys were much more well known of a quantity going into week 1 for us when we were making our predictions on HearthCenter. So I think we all pretty much had you winning. Did that give you guys like any sort of like was it like a wake up call that said, hey, we really gotta prep here, or do you just chalk it up to bad luck?
Yeah, just we're learning the meta, right?
Yeah. Yeah, week 1s can be tough there. So, besides that, though, you guys started to go on a roll. You won the next 5 weeks in a row, including wins against the Unknown, your finals opponent, and Wash U, who were the most dominant regular season team, and Bad the Bone, another playoff team. So during this stretch here, you took down 3 of the 4 playoff teams. Obviously, all of the playoff teams aside from yourself. Which is, I mean, I guess just a sign of things to come for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that made us feel good. Yeah, going into playoffs, like, oh yeah, we've beaten all these guys before.
I remember against WashU, it came down to me versus Valdez, and we had a Zoomir, and I drew Scrap-Ip, and he did it in Game 5.
Oh
Easy.
my goodness. Easy.
I love Hearthstone.
It's just as meta right now.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, nothing. Some things change, some things stay the same. And Scrap-Ip on 2, it might not be as strong as it was before it got nerfed, but it still does work.
Oh yeah, that week versus WashU, I brought Face Hunter. I think it was the other time I brought it this season.
Wait,
Yeah.
I think I also had a Zoom mirror and walk against Washi.
So
Against
let's see.
I think I played against Spoof Break.
You did. Yep.
Yes, and CMAC did indeed bring Face Hunter that week. I actually brought Face Hunter a decent amount this season.
No, I didn't. Yeah, we did. Okay. I think we were the first team to hand Washu their first game loss at that point.
Yes, they were completely undefeated before you saw them, and yeah, CMAC, you played a sub in Dr. Pyro. It was his only appearance in the season, and the last champ was the only one to, or actually the last champ and Loppledog both lost, but last champ didn't even get a game win there against ESO Glockta. But yeah, Valdez went 9-3, 2s you beat him. Ufric went 7-5. Typhoon, you took him down. So a couple players with really good records losing one of their very few games against your team there.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, well, we're moving slightly forward into the future here as we get further and further in the season. Maybe there'll be easier matchups to remember, such as Aeon, for example, the only other time you lost this season.
Dude, how did we lose to those guys?
I know, those
Those guys were not good. There was one good player on Aeon. I think his name was Ridiculous Hat.
unlucky.
Our hat did carry pretty hard most of the season. I won't even try to contest that. But yeah, that was not only the second loss of the season, that was the lowest point output that you all had as a team. And this was a week that Bill Snyder subbed in for you as well. He subbed in 3 times, it looks like, over the course of the season. Unfortunately, was unable to get a W. He fell to Coles, and our hat, who was in our 5 seed at the time, as we previously mentioned, 5 seeds can be crazy, did beat the last champ. Markshire beat Lawful Dog. Fuel beat 2s, and of course I took my whooping at the hands of CMAC. It wasn't a full whooping, but it was a 3-2, and I was the only one not to win.
You missed your opportunity to say 5 seeds can be ridiculous.
I thought about it, and I'm like, that just seems too easy, so I wanted to just leave it out there. But you brought it back, so that's okay. So
one thing with Bill though, even though he went 0-3, I think all of his subs were like very, very last minute. So
Like right before, it's like, hey, by the way,
yeah, like within an hour or 2.
here's Bill Snyder.
Well, we know Bill's a quality player, and that doesn't 0-3 doesn't define him there. We'll let the Wild Championship he won this season define him, because no one can take the inaugural Wild Championship away from Bill Snyder, and this is it does. That's okay.
And he's also been a very integral part of the team, even though he isn't he's subbed in a few times. Because he's just always in the Discord, like providing encouragement, giving feedback on our games, and preparation, scouting opponents, all that. So a huge shout out to Bill for helping us out this whole season.
He also did like a lot of the initial recruiting.
Right, yeah. So he's still very key part of this team. I have to stress that.
He recruited but didn't play or captain.
Yeah, so I guess he's
what
kind of an
happened was
advisory role.
He asked a lot of people to join the team, and he didn't expect everyone to join because he thought he was going to play.
No.
But then everyone joined.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
Graciously stepped aside. I get it. All right. So, did you guys have anybody else that was helping in the Discord, or just anybody else that was like a prep partner throughout the course of the season?
It was in the Discord.
Mick.
Yeah, Mick subbed for us 1 week. It was pretty important. Actually, I think it was versus the unknown.
Yeah, he subbed once.
Yeah, it was against us.
It was against you.
And
then our
TC
subs
Gamer.
stay around.
TC Gamer subbed one time as well. I think he got rank 1, and then that's why we got him to sub.
Yeah, no, he played for us a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, I do remember he played for a little bit.
just reached back out to him. Saw he was like really active, getting really good ladder results, so reached out to him again.
Yeah, that was why Aeon decided to try and pull a Grandmaster in for a sub, because we really didn't win that week.
Oh wait, no, that was I think you guys were playing a different team, right?
No, it wasn't against you guys. It wasn't. It was in week 10 of the regular season.
Right.
But
yeah, I remember that because I'm in your Discord.
Yes.
I think someone posted, "Oh, we got Rami, by the way."
It might have been me, but Arhat was the one who recruited him. I will say that, but it was cool to be able to say that, we recruited a GM even temporarily. But as you know, it did not help us tremendously in the long run because we still were sitting on the sidelines when it came to the playoffs. But you guys finished the season really strong. Finished out with 4 straight wins against teams that mostly had a shot at the playoffs, like Blazes and Everdam Triflin was. They were playoff contenders probably right up until like the weeks where you guys shut them down. FPL, not so much.
Every time Trifling was pretty much in the hunt like the whole season, right? They were kind of bouncing in between like 4th and 5th, maybe 6th a couple weeks, but like they were really strong.
Yeah, them and Aeon were like 4 through 6 like constantly for those like final like few weeks. Like 5 weeks.
Yeah, Blazes was more of a dark horse. I think they fell down to like 8th at one point, but then they started winning matches, and they were in 7th to finish the season, but they were still within striking distance even in week 10. So it wasn't a likely scenario where they would make the playoffs, but they were certainly a team that was still trying as hard as they could every week, and they definitely put up some surprising results, I thought, this season. So those are 2 strong wins there, and then you guys rounded it out with F2L and Beard Boys, 2 teams that were not as much playoff contenders, but capable teams nonetheless.
Yeah, I feel like both those teams are they're pretty strong. They just had like a couple weak links, but like they're still hard to score lots of points against just because they have like enough good players. Just they didn't have like a complete roster. I felt like.
Yeah, and I think part of it they were shifting around their roster a lot with their subs. Obviously, they just won back-to-back championships. They still have the same core. I think a couple of those players had down seasons, but they're definitely good enough to beat any team on any given day.
Yeah, they had what was it? I think it was an 0-6 start from Itachi, a player that we know is certainly better than that. And even if you could bank on wins from half of those games for them from Itachi, they might have turned a few results around. But Liquid Ox, Berserk, they've got a strong core, like you said. They're a team that I think will bounce back for sure. But not 3 seasons in a row for them. But yeah, by week 10 they were pretty well out of it at that point when you guys won 16-13.
They're breaking up, right? Because Liquid Ox is the captain next season.
I think he's the captain for F2L, isn't he?
But isn't Icon also?
No, Icon was.
They're both captains, so I think.
No, I mean he's going to be, or maybe Icon. I thought Icon stepped back. Maybe I'm thinking of Legacy that he stepped back from.
I think I saw both of them for pro captains. I'm not sure. Might be wrong.
I think one thing was for sure this pro season. The only team that was ever a lock for most of the season was WashU.
Oh yeah.
For playoffs.
Very much.
They were locked week 9, or week 8. It was just everyone else still fighting. WashU's yeah, we're chilling. We got this.
They were hibernating, as Valdez put it.
Hibernating, yes. Yeah, the Mishas were hibernating, and unfortunately for them, they didn't really wake back up when it came to playoff time. I know you guys didn't have to play them in the semifinals, but they hit a bit of a skid there towards the end of the season where some of those matches didn't necessarily matter as much for them standings-wise, so maybe they kind of took them weeks off mentally, and I know that can be a problem trying to get back into a competitive mindset if you've taken a few weeks off, so it might have been just kind of a victim of bad timing for them. And look, everyone is pointing out that Icon and Ox are captains. Ox, I would imagine maybe his team is going to be the Hype Horizon team because he got signed there to play for their pro team, officially as in a professional capacity, which is kind of cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I follow a bunch of several of their streamers, and they're all very chill, so that'd be good.
Bill predicted the exact same thing I predicted. Sorry, Bill.
Oh wait, are they gonna have Gamer RBG on their team?
They could.
Oh, Lawful vs Gamer RBG has to happen.
Yeah, they had a bit of a rivalry.
Gamer RPG said in Ego's Twitch chat when he was playing Lawful, "Oh, you're playing Lawful, free win." And then after Lawful won, he tweeted it out and said, "Thanks, little buddy."
Oh man. Well, nonetheless, I mean, all that matters at the end of the day is that the group that won, I think, was one of the most deserving teams. It was either you or Wash U were the two best teams, I think, throughout the course of the season. I know, and I mean no slight to the unknown. You guys came roaring back there towards the end of the season and definitely deserving of the playoff spot. But consistency-wise, Wash U and Tap Last were definitely 1 and 2 in most people's eyes all season long. So, not surprising to see that you ended up being the team that won. I guess I just kind of expected maybe it would have been against Wash U, but the unknown had a pretty awesome upset there in the semifinals.
I think we all got lucky the mage got nerfed because that really nerfed Wash U.
They did love
Like their entire team played mage, I think.
No, the Heatshock is the mage expert for VS, I believe.
That sounds right.
So, and
Heatshock
he also
loves mage.
Yeah, and also like I prepped for him for a Masters tour a little bit, and he just like basically the go-to. He was the go-to guy for mage. I think part of it, like they collectively decided to try out like the new untested decks in the playoffs, so that might have also contributed to what happened.
Yeah, not the best time to experiment, I suppose, is the playoffs, of course. And Ufric mentioned in chat there that after their TESPA season ended, none of them really go back into Hearthstone full time. So I definitely feel that there could be some serious burnout. Not only were you playing 11 weeks of THL, but they're playing TESPA, and I'm sure laddering as well. So that's a lot of time playing the game. That by then you're ready for a break.
Yeah, I definitely felt that doing having done both this season.
Well,
It just seems like too much. Like at one point, your brain just like,
Well,
nah, I'm good. Like,
the TESPA season got delayed, and once they decided to resume it sometime like early June. So, being in Open and Varsity season series, I was playing 4 matches a week for TESPA, plus a 5th match for THL.
And you were doing the Masters tours, it would appear, as well.
Yeah.
So, and I know CMAC, you play on every server when it comes to Masters.
I think he's second in total qualifiers played. Is that right, CMAC?
Time in qualifiers, yeah.
Yeah.
I have an Asia account. I can't even imagine also having a Europe account just because I don't know when I would sleep. I don't know when you sleep.
during the warrior
rounds. Yeah, well, in between turns of warrior, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, end turn.
Just on one of those like Iron Man
just like a
schedules.
series of 90-second naps.
Have you guys seen those crazy schedules that are apparently optimal for your health? It's just like sleep for 1.5 hours at a time and then wake up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes me an hour to get out of bed once I've woken up. That's crazy. I'm just laying in bed like, yeah, I should really just get up now, and I don't do it. I just sit there and I'm awake. I don't fall back asleep. I just cannot move. It seems like it might be a different problem for me, but I don't know. Valda says the Shaman deck is really good. My win rate from Diamond 3 to Legend 1000, 21-7 is really good.
Yeah.
I guess that
wasn't the culprit.
Galacron Warlock?
I really wanted that deck to be good. Like I know John Bray posted the list and he was doing really well with it, and then just like no one ended up bringing it in competitive.
Are you talking about Gala Warlock or Shaman?
No, the Shaman.
Gotcha.
The Evolved Shaman.
Yeah, I think it was tough to get behind. I'm sure if you didn't practice it for one thing, you weren't going to want to bring it in a competitive capacity. But then, I don't know exactly where its bad matchups lie, but I would have to imagine it wasn't well suited for the meta if people were avoiding it.
Probably itself.
Probably itself. Oh man. Well, I guess that's everything that we had, season-wise to discuss. Anything else that you guys wanted to bring up? Any specific matches that stood out to you, or any opponents that stood out to you? And basically, anything else that you want to say about Pro, about THL? Like the floor is yours at this point.
CMAC is insane at Hearthstone. Bill Snyder's the GOAT.
Bill the Goat Snyder.
Dorbin.
But we, Dorbin. We have emotes for everyone in our servers, so we spam those every time that we get a win.
Awesome.
I mean, it feels really good to finally get a championship after being in the finals 3 times. Like it's tough. Oh yeah, like it's tough going into the finals, like making it all the way there and then just losing. Which
yeah, I haven't been keeping count. I think this is like my 5th season or something. So yeah, it like feels good to finally win something.
Yeah, I definitely, on a personal level, can resonate, as I made the finals twice before winning one. So I know how it feels to be that close and just not quite be able to get there. But you guys seem like you have a lot of fun as a team, which I think is awesome. It's not only obviously every Hearthstone match is individual, but like having a good team environment where you can go back and have fun, even in win or lose. I think that's what's most important, is that you find a group of people that you're happy to hang out with, and I think that's gonna drive a team to be better than the sum of their parts. So maybe that's what happened to the Unknown. I don't know. BrushyTuna seemed like he's kind of a little bit of a toxic piece of that. Wait, is he still here?
Just a little bit, But there's always got to be like that one toxic guy in every team,
It's clearly Ron Mexico, but he feeds off it, so it's okay.
Ron's like a caboose train. I'm just throwing coal.
I don't know if you guys do this as well, Brushy, but we would go over replays like almost every week, like of our matches.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the most efficient way to like improve it, like as a team or even just individually, just going over your replays with like 3 to 4 people. Yeah. Because you can pause and have like long discussions on like certain lines or decision points where like if you're co-oping or whatever, like you only get like 90 seconds to think about it. Whereas you can spend like 5-10 minutes like opening stats and like looking at all this stuff for certain decision points.
Yeah, I like doing that. Helpful. I like doing that too because I'm really good at weirdly I like the best thing I am at Hearthstone is like hand tracking. Mm-hmm. So I try to like hand those tips out of like how I know they have certain cards in their hand to like try to give like other people the advantage. Like, oh, okay, he definitely probably has this card in their hand. And it's good to see like they come back later and be like, yo, I knew they had this because of this tip you gave me. Mm-hmm. But for sure, like watching replays is like 100% the best thing you can do. Even like if you don't have time to play Hearthstone, like ladder or whatever, but just watching, rewatching your replays after your match from that week is by far probably the best like quote unquote prep work you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know when I'm looking at replays, I know I pause at the beginning of every turn to see if I would make the same decision that I will ultimately, see out of the person I'm viewing. So I think that's how I usually like to approach it. I don't know, is that how you guys, as a group, do you like pause before every turn, or you just kind of watch it straight through and then like pause at certain points when you feel like you need to discuss something?
Usually we just watch it straight through, and then we'll just pause when there's like an interesting turn.
Yeah, just pause at like important turns.
Usually the first like 2 to 3 turns generally. There's like not many decision points, or they're like kind of simple. But sometimes like skipper turns, like you just like with the warrior, like you just go over every single skipper turn like 5 times.
Oh yeah, because ordering is just as important too. Like every little piece of those turns is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Then another thing is like this meta only has a handful of decks, so a lot of them you're seeing the exact same matchup over time. Like if you're playing Quest Lock, it's gonna be like a quest into tap into like some other stuff every single game. So like that's not really exactly worth looking into. But somewhere later down the line, when you have when you have a choice between using different resources to clear, that's when you have like a lot to discuss.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Sometimes you like to pause to like be like, hey, what if we like would have done this play instead? And you discuss that random thought, even if it like seems bad like at first, and you like truly think about like what that play could have done. If maybe that weird like one-time play could be like a future thing, just keeping in your back pocket.
Yeah, I think the more you discuss it, the more you'll recognize it on a quicker quicker level when it happens in a match, because like you said there, at the top 90 seconds in a match is not a whole lot of time to think and process and then act out your turn. So obviously, if you've seen a turn, if you've seen a setup multiple times, your brain will immediately recognize that, and you'll be ready to just kind of act, and that will save you the indecision and then possibly not making the entire turn actually be able to do it in 90 seconds. So I think that's a really important piece too. Like you said, it's why sports teams, why you prep, like why you practice the plays over and over again, why a football team is going to run the same play in practice 20, 30, 40 times, because you get in the game and you don't even have to think anymore, you just do it and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's like that quote relating to boxing. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face.
Exactly.
And then your instincts take over.
And then the person with the better instincts usually wins. So
Right.
Yep.
Or the better training in that case.
Right.
Yeah. You can have good instincts, but if you're 110 pounds and you're running to a guy that's 240 pounds, you
That's
you better be ready. Yeah.
And Balance brings up replays are also great for breaking bad habits. I think that's such a huge important point, because I know there's so many times that I've said to myself, I can't win this matchup. And I don't know why. And then if I watch the replays, it's because I'm doing the same thing at the same juncture every time. And there's obviously a reason. If I'm losing every matchup, I'm doing something incorrectly. And it can't just be ascribed to luck all the time. Either I can sit here and say, oh man, I just really didn't draw ABC, and yeah, that's true, that happens sometimes. But if you're doing the same thing on turn 4 every game, if you're doing the same thing on turn 7 every game, or when you see a certain minion come out from an opponent's deck, and it's always not working for you, you need to switch it up. And I think like Valdez said, replays are great, especially if you talk with other people, as you guys clearly do quite frequently. Well.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions that I had for you guys. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show, of course, and congratulations again on a championship, which is always a piece that you'll be able to hang your hat on in THL. No one can take that away from you. And Brushy, someday, buddy, you'll get yours.
I gotta let you know. I doubt it. If Ron's on my team, I'll never win one.
Ouch.
Gotta get that guy gone first,
Such a
Now he's gonna go be extra motivated to go undefeated next season.
Well, good news for Ron is I'm actually not on the pro team next season. So we'll see. We'll see if he can win one without me.
Who's gonna motivate him then?
Oh, I'll still be captain. I just won't be playing, so we won't have a garbage 5 seed, only having 5 wins.
It's alright. He's focused on his streaming career now. I don't know if you know that. Big streamer right now, streaming to one. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to slam anyone.
Donde, you show up in his chat tonight, and I'm gonna ban you.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Didn't he get the 50 followers already that he needs for?
Yeah. He has Twitch subs. I gave him 5 random subs the other day because he played a generous mummy on turn 3 when it was really bad for him.
he will do anything for subs. He crafted a
he didn't know.
I was like beer for my subs. So
that's true. I told him, I was like, Ron, play mummy for something special, and he goes, all right, and he just chucks it, and I was like, oh darn, now I have to do it.
Man of the people.
Man of the people. Yeah, the Ron Mexico company.
Ron Sexico, Mexico. Love it. I like how Ron somehow got more play on the stream tonight than last champ and Waffle Dog did. I had to think of your fifth teammate briefly. So
man,
sorry to Waffle Dog. How could I forget the giant biceps that would easily strangle and choke me out?
You talking about me?
I mean, I think his are bigger. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
I've met him in person. Those are he's massive.
What about my tattoos too? They look cool. They can beat you up or pop off my arm and fight you, Donde.
My tattoos will fight your tattoos.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm winning any real life fights against most people. My tactic is more of I'm gonna just lay on the ground and pretend I'm knocked out cold right now, and hopefully they'll get bored and go away.
They don't even swing on you. You just like fall over. You're just like,
That's why I do all my fighting in the tavern.
Ooh.
And then I just
So
silently
good.
rage to myself when I lose.
Just challenge them to a tavern brawl.
Macaws this week, which we'll get to see on the Hero All-Star match on Saturday. Which, by the way, I think we should plug that too, because if anybody did not catch the stream live on Monday, that we I'm sorry, not Monday. Was it Monday? Was it Monday?
It was Monday.
It was Monday. Okay. The days all blur together. I work like every day at this point, and I don't even know what day of the week it is. So Monday we did the Legacy All-Star match, which was the pentathlon format, and it went long. The stream went for a while, but I thought it was a lot of fun. And we're going to just try to compress it down a little bit time-wise for this Saturday for Hero. However, we are still going to show every event, and that should be a fun time. So make sure to come check it out. If you are interested, it will be starting at about 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So yes, 8 fingers for Brushy. He will be there. Again, we're running it back.
I will.
That was a lot of fun, so we're going to do that. And make sure that you tune in to the award show, the final end of the season award show. We haven't set a specific date, but it should be next week sometime. We will be letting you know in the Discord when that is active. That will be all the awards, so Hero, Legacy, Pro, Wild, and of course Content Awards, and Hall of Fame announcements. We're only doing the Hall of Fame every other season at this point. We didn't do one last off season, so we'll be doing Hall of Fame announcements, and we haven't... I don't want to give anything away, but there will be an inductee or two at least. So it is not going to be a debate. We will actually have people get inducted in the Hall of Fame. So definitely tune in for that. Otherwise, this is it. This is it. HearthCenter's over right now. We're done. We're off. We're on break until the next pro season starts. So looking forward to seeing what the teams will be in our 4th official season of pro, and we'll be excited to bring those to you once we get closer to the start of the next season, which is August 24th. So good luck to everybody out there. Tap Last, again, good luck on defending your championship. I know everyone's going to be gunning extra hard for you guys next season, so be ready for it. But I'm looking forward to getting started. I'm looking forward to having a little content break too, I'm not going to lie. Been going like 3 or 4 days a week.
We still got Hero All-Stars, Pro All-Stars, and then you got awards, Donde. You're not done yet.
Yeah, man, the off-season is actually like the most busy time for content most of the time, but I've outsourced a lot of that stuff this off-season because I enjoy still being married.
It's fair.
And my wife is like, when do you want to hang out ever? And I was like, I don't know.
Just have her join you on the show. Have your family
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, there looks like there's couches in the background.
Oh,
I see them.
I got 2
They can
couches
sit back
in the
there.
room. There's 2 in the room. She's got plenty of space to hang, but she doesn't want to be a part of this. So she just, she leaves me, unfortunately.
She leaves.
She doesn't leave me leaving. She leaves me be downstairs when we're broadcasting. All right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks again for everyone coming. I usually say good luck in your matches, but there's no more matches. So good luck next season, and we will see you on our regularly scheduled night once the next season resumes. But until then, tune in on Saturday for the Hero All-Stars, and we will catch you at 8 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night, everybody.